There we go. And now we are ready to start. Match 1, Sander the Quick versus Lars Meeussen. Let's go. Now, let's have a look at their deck list as well. Where's Lars? From Sander, we have Blue-Black Scarab God Control. From Lars, we are looking at Liliana, Foul Orchard, Forest, Swamp. So we are looking at black-green mid-rangey. Okay, yep, we're ready to go. All right, and we have our first plays of the match already. How everything is going. Awkward. Still moving everything around. Now make everything look nice and clean. And we have Gifted Etherborn. Okay, now we're in the game for real. Let's hope the internet holds up better than it did last year or last edition. We have a Rejuvenator for Lars to smooth out his mana. Gets the Evolving Wilds there. Not exactly what you want to hit with that card, since it really slows you down. The Evolve Pirate for Sander is there, and we indeed see a little red splash for Nicol Bolas in Sander's deck. And we have a new follower. Welcome, One Critical Geek. Grab your oar and join the longboat. Now, join the longboat, grab an oar, and join the adventure. I forgot what my line is. No. Stop moving. Hup Lars. We have supporters for Lars in the chat. Currently he's in the lead for the vote who should be winning this. We missed a Ravenous Chupacabra. And I think that's one of the rares. What's the name? Wait, what did he just play? Ah, it's the Plague Mare. Plague Mare for Lars. And a fresh Gifted Etherborn for Sander. So Sander, even though he's playing Blue-Black Control, he's playing a more creature-centric version that is quite capable of putting a lot of pressure on his opponent, as we can see here. Gifted Etherborn being both a great stop sign for aggressive decks and a way to put on pressure yourself if you are in a matchup that is more combo oriented. Eldest Reborn for Lars. He'll be grinding card advantage. It's funny how the non-blue deck in this scenario is has started to play like the more slow control deck here. And we have a commit. Think. Commit. Not commit. The name of the split card. Consign, yeah. Consign to memory. There we go. 2 bounce. Plague Mare blocking. Lars at this point trying to conserve as much of his life as possible. Brackets should have been posted on Facebook at this point, and if they're not, somebody should ping Anouk to post the bracket. Sander's going to come out top. I think his deck is better. Hello folks, hello Dr. Sonny, welcome. Okay, Lars. Another Rejuvenator to dig deeper and stabilize, and an Eldest Reborn from Sander the Quick now. Fighting back with the card advantage train. Actually trying to out-pressure Lars in this first matchup. Well, in this first game, that is. Lars with his back against the wall. Sander thinking,
finish him!
Louder than I meant it to be. Come on, Lars.
Don't stop believing.
Brackets don't seem to be posted yet. Somebody should poke Anouk then. Now I can actually show you guys the bracket for a few seconds while our players are shuffling. So first matchup, Lars versus Sander. Then we have Peter versus Jelle, Steffi versus Joris, and Sander the Ridder versus Branko. So Vraska for Lars gets rid of one of the gifted Etherborns. Wow, it's crazy how slow Gatherer is loading the cards. So Lars quite firmly with his back against the wall here. Passes the turn. Sander ignoring that Vraska and going for the face. Now it is up to Lars to start fighting back here. He has a grip to fight back. He still has that Eldest Reborn. Not sure what's gonna pop back from the graveyard. Yeah, it's gonna be Chupacabra, so playing a blocker here isn't really the plan. Gets to settle the score to get rid of the gifted Etherborn. I think I would have, I don't know what his follow-up is going to be, Thrashing Brontosaur, but that will just die to the third activation of the Eldest Reborn. I think playing an Eldest Reborn of his own here might have been more interesting. Of course, Sander might have counter mana up, though he isn't playing a lot of that in his main board. Is in fact none at all, actually. Sander is not playing any counter spells before going to his sideboard. +2 loyalty and destroying that Eldest with Vraska is nice. It's -3 to destroy something. +2 makes a +2 makes a wow, I'm totally blanking. +2 makes a pirate with 2/2 pirate with menace. Yeah, he can blink or bounce his own Eldest Reborn with the last ability on the stack. Thrashing Brontosaur tries to kill the Eldest Reborn, but Sander bounces it in response. I think I would have waited until yeah, it doesn't really matter with that blink. Now he plays the Eldest Reborn again, and this time it eats the Vraska. These sequences with Eldest Reborn are such a strong part of the engine for this deck. Can I turn off that? Eldest Reborn for Lars to get rid of the gifted Etherborn that was replayed. Again, Lars back against the wall. Countering Haymaker with Haymaker here. And Sander already has his 1 red mana. Supernatural Stamina going to the graveyard. Lars doesn't have that much to play off it as is. Is Sander empty-handed at this point? It kind of nullifies the second ability, the second trigger on that Eldest Reborn. Do know that Sander's Saga getting the third ability first will mean that he gets to take the Vraska that's in Lars's graveyard. So again, and still advantage Sander as far as that is concerned. So while people are shuffling, I want to thank and welcome everybody who's hanging out in the chat. It's great to see so many people here being interested in our Invitational. Ah, the Nissa was in his hand. I couldn't see that. So Nissa taking that Vraska out of the graveyard is huge here. Though Sander can still take the Thrashing Brontosaurus and destroy Lars's Eldest Reborn. Decision time. You want Gifted Etherborn, or do you want to nullify the Eldest Reborn? Like we said, Sander is hellbent here, is pretty much drawing off the top. The Nissa was in our hearts all along. Yes, Nissa pops out when you need her the most. Sander thinking about his target for the Eldest Reborn trigger. Third one puts a Planeswalker or a creature on the battlefield under your control. And it is the Thrashing Brontodon. To control Lars's. And we have the flashback version of Consigned to Oblivion, making Lars discard 2 cards. Yep. Leaving Lars with a hand of only the Vraska. Advantage Lars with 2 Planeswalkers here. Very much so. Goes on the offensive with the ability to turn lands into creatures. And chooses to keep it on defense here. Which is a bit odd to me, since I don't think there are flash creatures or haste creatures we should expect from someone. Okay, yeah, no, he is attacking with it. Lars just choosing to cast everything before he's attacking. Apparently there was a little mistake there. And we have a Liliana that's Death's Majesty for Sander, so he gets to take something back, gets a Ravenous Chupacabra. Which destroys the 2/2 Menace. Could have attacked, will destroy the land as well. That doesn't really halt Lars. It would have halted his development if Sander is playing for the late game. Him destroying the 2/2 here, knowing that he is playing Golden Demise, he has 2 of them in his deck, is sort of admitting to playing on a more shorter term than I think he needs to be doing at this point. Battle of the Planewalkers. Yep. very much so at this point. Don't get that entirely. Don't you just give up Lily this way? Well, in order to give up Lily, Lars has to devote quite a lot of his resources to it. And we see here that Lars chooses not to. Lars could have minus the... Oh no, Vraska doesn't actually destroy it. I think Vraska can't destroy... can't destroy Planeswalkers. Lars playing the Naga Vitalist and a Thrashing Brontodon, which gets taken care by sacrificing the chump blocking Ravenous Chupacabra to a Vicious Offering. So Liliana getting a zombie this time, and another Gifted Etherborn joins the fray for Sander in the hopes of stabilizing. Don't forget that Lars still is at only 2 lives, so any of these 2 power creatures have have Lars's name, have his number, and we're ulting with Vraska to put Sander on 1 life, then attacking with the 2 creatures. The pirate having Menace, so that Sander couldn't block. A very hard-fought battle for Lars here, that ended in a pretty impressive way. I appear not to have... here we go. Sideboard for Sander. Let's add that to my list. Go. So sideboard for Sander is 3 negates, 3 Moment of Craving, 1 Hieroglyphic Illumination, 3 Forsake the Worldly, 1 Plains, and 4 Duress. I haven't really seen what he is sideboarding. Maybe some of you have seen it. The white sideboard for Sander. Yeah, the white sideboard is just for Forsake the Worldly. I don't think that will come in here. No blue and still winning. Mark me impressed. I think you'll be surprised by the rest of the the deck choices if you think blue is an auto win at this point. In the meantime, sideboard for Lars is 2 Cartouche of Ambition, 2 Cartouche of Strength, 4 Duress, 2 Divest, 3 Moment of Craving, and 2 Appetite for the Unnatural. So he has the 4 Duresses to come in, but other than that, I don't really see much that helps us. Lars's list is pretty awesome though. It's a an all-out display that you can build control without playing blue. He's playing Dark Bargain, Eldest Reborn, Doomfall, Supernatural Stamina, Plague Mares, Liliana Death's Majesty of his own, Dusk Legion Zealot, Gifted Etherborn, Thrashing Brontodon. He's actually choosing to play 4 Thrashing Brontodon and 2 Gifted Etherborns, even though he is not playing Llanowar Elf. So he has 4 Naga Vitalists, but is not playing Llanowar Elves. I guess he likes that extra toughness more against some of the token decks that we're expecting here. 3 Elvish Rejuvenator, 1 Vivian Reed, 4 Naga Vitalist, 1 Vraska, 1 Nissa, 2 Settle the Score, 2 Vicious Offering. Then as a mana base he has 4 Evolving Wilds, 4 Foul Orchards, 7 Forest, 9 Swamps, 2 Cartouche of Ambition. Oh no, that's sideboard already. Alright. What's the chat? No blue and still winning. Played against a similar list on this GP side event. GP side event was awesome. Everybody who was there was totally right. I hope to see more people show up for those in the future. Piloted by Alan with different build, I think. Lenoir living on the road. When we're in time, forest explode. What? I don't know what that is. With Plague Mare and Golden Demise, Lenoir seems a little iffy. Well, Golden Demise also gets rid of the Naga Vitalist. It's not a... It's a 1-3, right? 1-2. Not a Druid of the Cowl. Yeah, it's a 1-2. From Manowar. Okay. Didn't know. Summer was there in Brussels? Yeah, I saw you. But you played a lot already. Yeah, Druid of the Cowl does survive Golden Demises. Kinda depends if you need it for acceleration or fixing. And we are off to the races. GP Swamp for Sander and a Foul Orchard for Lars. How happy is everybody, by the way, that we're getting our dual lands again in M19? Kinda makes me suspect that WotC does know about Gentry and is helping us out, but maybe that's just wishful thinking, right? That wasn't very nice. Alright, so early steps, nothing happening. Brussels was nice, chat said. That was pretty good, yes. Okay, we have a duress to see what Lars is fighting against, but Sander choosing to fight back with a negate. This is usually because there's a planeswalker hiding. Ooh, not here. I think I would have let that slide. Sander kept in the Golden Demise here, and see Siren's Ruse and a Fatal Push. How come Gentry events always just get you 1 Planeswalker points? The Gentry events that we host should get you normal ones. The ones that are hosted at the GP are unfortunately hosted as casual events, so you only get the 1 participation point. Wish I could be at the Invitational. Looks like lots of fun. It was lots of fun. People arrived here at 11, had a drink and some snacks, and then some of Iana's amazing food. The chile sin carne, nice and veggie. That was very much appreciated by everybody, I like to think. And then now we rolled into the matches, and we're here with a match on number 1. Ooh. First Haymaker, Liliana, Death's Majesty. Death's Majesty. A horrible name. And making a token. Not sure how that Brontodon ended up in the graveyard. I think I missed something. Joris had to wake me up this morning for a secret tech card. Surprised Sander Deer got out of bed this early, actually. He was the second one here, so good for him. Mills 2, of course. We're easing into the mid game where Lars has the advantage because he has a Planeswalker. It's that easy sometimes. Fatal Push gets rid of the zombie. And Dusk Legion Zealot goes to tickle Liliana. Saunders, what's the name of the guy? Siren Lookout. See a lot of these blue-black creature-y decks playing Siren Lookout, and it always feels like an odd one out to me. But then again, you kind of always want to have the +1/+1 counter on there, because otherwise it does so little. Enough claws. Sander's the name, magic's the game. Yeah, I'm not saying Siren's Lookout is bad. Don't get me wrong. It's just I have this image of a blue-black control deck that is very much focused around spells and getting advantage. There is some confusion about the amount of loyalty that Liliana should be on apparently, but looks like the game state was correct after all. Fatal push on the land. That's the big problem with that Nissa, is that it makes your lands quite vulnerable to removal. This time it's the Siren's Lookout who goes for a little tickle attack. Fatal Push does work on the land. It was animated by Nissa to be a 5/5 and kept on the defensive. It stays a land until your next turn, so it doesn't stop being a land. So Lars still firmly in control, has more cards, has 2 planeswalkers. Is a little pinched on mana here. Not enough that I think that using Nissa's minus ability to get a land is necessary, but I wouldn't be too surprised. Oh, we have Planeswalker number 3, and still Sander has no interaction with this. Sander did have 3 negates to bring in. We already saw him play one of them. No CMC is the same as 0 CMC for most scenarios. This is over. That would be a very quick win for Lars here in this matchup. And this time Lars taking the advantage and showing how comfortable he is by attacking. And he is playing, I think he's playing 4. Yeah, we haven't seen Vivian Reed yet. This is the 4th Planeswalker hiding in Lars's deck. Sander struggling very much in the card quality department, trying to manage the loyalty on all those Planeswalkers with just that Siren Lookout, but doesn't look so good. Dusk Legion Zealot for Lars here. But I do feel that at this point it's academic, as they say. We are just watching Lars close out this match. So very few cards that directly deal with a Planeswalker on the board or blue-black control. Yeah, the settle the scores on uncommon are a very big reason for why Lars is so invested in these Planeswalkers. My Sander's deck just looks underwhelming in this matchup. Like he cannot fight the card quality that Lars is bringing to the table. And this is what these mid-rangey grindfest decks do. They just make other people's cards look so bad. That said, with the right mix of counter spells and removal, this whole matchup looks a lot different. But Sander choosing to go with a more creature-centric approach really handicaps him in this matchup. And there is the handshake. So that means we are taking Lars into our semi-finals here.